Monday morning, starting a new job down here, Carthage, between Carthage and Joplin, Missouri. Little subdivision back here, nice little subdivision. Gonna cut some walnut. Got the skidder moved down here last night. It was a long day yesterday. By the time it was all said and done, put in about 14 hours. There's a skidder sitting up there. I'll bring the skid steer down tomorrow. I was gonna see if Dad wanted to come down here with me today and help me get a couple trees down, but I didn't see Dad this morning at coffee. So I don't know what he's doing. He's probably gardening. But we'll get in here and we'll get these on the ground, or try to anyway, and try to get this little deal knocked out. We got 5 acres here, and the neighbor next door's got another 5, and he's wanting us to look at his while we're here. It's pretty close proximity stuff. Get in here and see if we can't get some trees on the ground. I've got a couple down out there here in the brush there. One's a pretty good sized tree. It's laying up there. Now this one here, I knew when I looked at it the first time. You see how swollen that stump is? You come over here to the back side, and it was cutting a little bad. I could tell when I was boring into it. And it's wanting to kind of fall out this way. Now here's the problem, the wind's starting to pick up. Of course it's not blowing down here where I'm sweating and hotter than the hubs of Haiti. But up top, it's really starting to blow and whip these trees, which is a problem because a lot of the trees I was gonna cut today, really I was hoping I could get Dad down here and have Dad help me get them down, because they really require, it's almost a 2-person job, because either I need to be cutting and he needs to be on the skidder pushing, or vice versa. And I'd almost rather him be cutting, because in situations like this, he's got a lot more experience and knowledge about really bringing them down with precision than I do. But this one here, I've got it all bored out. Of course, I've cut my spur off the back side here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave a little bit of this backwood hold, and I'm gonna cut this, and I'm gonna take the skidder, and I'm gonna nudge it. Now it's wanting to kind of fall into this residual walnut here. I don't want it to go there. The reason I'm pushing on it is because I want it to go just out here, just a little bit. That's our goal right there. That's where we want that tree to go. So, I was cutting with the 661 and hit a rock, dulled it. So I've got the 880 now, which I've got it all bored out. All I got to do is just clip my spurs to bring it down. That's a pretty good sized tree, but I don't know how good it's going to be. You can see there's a lot of dead limbs in the top of it, a lot of dead limbs. And one thing I was talking with the landowner about, it's a good time to bring it down now, because he's getting ready to have a dozer in here tomorrow to do a bunch of work. They're going to bring a new driveway right in here because he's building a shop out here. So it was one of the reasons we were going to take it down now. And this other big tree right there you see in front of us, we're going to take it down because it's going bad in the top too, and he wants it out as well. But like I said, a lot of these deals here, it's just a lot easier if you got a guy helping you. If it's a 2-man job, just to play it safe. There's so much caution and precision that goes into cutting places like this. I almost, it's not that I hate doing it, but you know, you earn your money, you definitely do, on jobs like this, because it's slow going. You really got to take your time and be very cautious when cutting these things to make sure everything's done right. So we're going to clip this thing. We're fueled and gassed up. The neighborhood dog, he stopped by and visited me just a bit ago. He visited me last night when I unloaded the skidder. Or already made a friend. I always try to make friends with dogs wherever I go, so I had to see him a while, make sure he went on his way. He's probably making us rounds through the neighborhood, seeing everybody. But now that we know he's gone, we'll go ahead and bring this thing down. Or like I said, we're going to clip the spurs, leave just a little bit on that back hold, and we're going to nudge it right on over in there. So here we go. Now we got it clipped. I've got just a little bit holding, and that's the tricky part. I got to hurry. So I'm going to set you down here, maybe somewhere. I hope you can see what's about to transpire. Maybe you can, maybe you can. I don't know if you can. Oh, pick you up here. Yeah, that perfect. Perfect. Oh, just about left too much on this backside hold here. This was part of my hold wood. Of course, I come down and I cut most of this right in here, but I wanted to leave some of this hold just for safety. Of course, I cut the biggest part of this to hold as well. Now, this is no secret because that's kind of what we were afraid of here. We knew it was cutting bad and we could see it anyway. But there's still a lot of lumber in this log. Still got a lot of material. And the main thing is we got it where we want it to go. It was wanting to fall into this residual walnut tree here. We didn't get into that. We got it right in this hole we wanted. Minimal damage, broke the top and a little hackberry there, but that's okay. That's okay. He's gonna push a lot of that out and clear it up anyway. So, like I said, the main thing is we got this down where it needed to be. These, like I said, these are nerve-wracking trees because, and it's not that there was anything to tear up besides trees. It's not like there was power lines or driveway or structures like there are some of these other trees, but still, I try to put as much pride in this stuff as I can. I try to do my best on all this stuff. And when I tell somebody I can do something, I sure sometimes I run my mouth and I almost think I promise too much, but I always try to do my best and what I can. But I said I was going to put this tree in that hole right there, and that's where I put her in. So we'll go ahead and we'll get this tree worked up. It's a good sized tree, got a lot of lumber in it. Shame it didn't cut good, but like I said, that was no secret. We could see that there in the bottom. Main thing is that we got it down without any damage. A lot of lumber in it, a lot of material. So we'll get this worked up. We're gonna clip them spurs off there. Then I don't know which one we'll go to next. Like I said, he's got some good trees over here we're gonna cut, but as you can tell, that wind is really starting to pick up in the canopy and it's starting to push these tops around. They're talking scattered showers today, so it might be a short day of cutting. We got to look at the neighbor's timber across the way later today. And so instead of making a trip home, I'd like to try to do all I can down here, but I didn't bring an extra shirt with me and I'm already soaked to the bone. Let's get her worked up, then we'll go to the next one. We got a couple more down. That's probably all I'm going to cut today until I can get Dad out here to help me with these few others. These two I cut over here were tricky enough, and actually I kind of goofed on this one over here. It was right next to the drive, and I don't know that much could have prevented it, but it's not bad, but it's enough that it bothers me. That root was running back here under the drive, and of course I left a little hold and pushed, and when I did it kind of pulled up here, so just part of it. Unfortunately, we'll have to do what we can to make it right, but I was just happy to get it down because I really thought it was wanting to kind of go back this way towards this shed here, and I bored it out and cut some spurs and left a little bit on that spur there holding the majority of this spur hold, of course, and I even pounded a wedge in it there to kind of keep it over this way because, like I said, we got kind of a hole here where there's not a lot to tear up, and that's where I'm trying to fall these. And of course, this one here was the same way. It was wanting to go back this direction, and I pushed it right over. It was actually, I was kind of getting a little too confident in myself. I was trimming and trimming and trimming, just kind of feathering the saw to trim a little bit up, and I seen it kind of starting to really rock hard back that way, so I jumped on the skidder and just put it in reverse and pushed it because I already had the pusher into the tree with the brake set. So, but yeah, it's I'm pretty happy with just me getting these down, but I'm not going to press my luck to try to get any of these others down because there's some good trees right in here that got to be cut, some real good trees, but I'd feel a lot better if Dad was here to help me with those. But we got a pretty good start on them. I need to get the skid steer here to really move these things around, buck them up, because it's really gonna make a mess of things through there. And looks like you can see where this had given trouble before, this root system in here. So it's good to know that I wasn't the first one to kind of goof on it, but we did pull this up a little. We sure did. This darned old root. But I was afraid to trim too much more of it. Tough call, tough call. And it's trees like that, really, it's not a bad idea to have a tree company top them from the top down. Because I'll be honest, when it comes to doing residential logging like this, we do it, but it's not my favorite thing to do, just because it's slow. You know, it's a little slower logging. It's a little like this big ugly thing here. It's been lightning struck so many times. It's got to come down too. They want it down, and I'm not real for sure where we're even going to put that thing at when we drop it. But it's really opened up the canopy here in the yard. So they're wanting a little bit of that. They're wanting to kind of open things up. So some good trees, real good trees. There's some dandy trees down in this area. I've learned in the last year just logging down here. So like I said, it's a good start. Good start. We'll look at these logs in just a second. Come up here and look at these logs. Now this here's the top log to this one here. This was a pretty good tree that last time I just cut. I need to trim that off. It'll have a good 10-foot veneer log in it. Real good 10-foot veneer. And probably 9 foot on the top side for lumber. Good lumber. It's got that knot over there to keep it in the lumber. We'll cut her right in here to keep it in the high dollar bracket. Looks good on the butt, cut good. Good color, fairly thin sapped. Of course, you got that little gnarly thing there, you know. These first couple I cut this morning. It's not a bad tree here. It's a good tree. I peeled the bark on it pretty good. Oh, cut a little bad there in the heart. I didn't see that earlier. It's okay. Not bad for yard trees. In the last couple of years, we've done a lot of work in these little subdivisions, and don't get me wrong, I never turn it down, but like I said, it is tedious work. It's just, you got to be very, very cautious, very careful. A little slower pace. You can't just run out here and start dropping and topping like I usually like to, you know. Still happy to have the work. I sure am. Sure am. Hopefully later today we can buy some more timber off the neighbor here next door and we look at his too. Now tomorrow we'll bring the skid steer in and we'll sell logs in the morning.